totally different. The effect that happens to you from the same exercise, let's say you challenge rectus femoris from release, and I challenge my rhomboids from pulling my scaps back into place, I get taller, then the compensation has to be the opposite of that. So even though we're training together, we're playing next to each other.
Different needs.
Yeah. So the system, it will constantly evolve if it is a system and not a program.
I tell people, I watch your TED Talks. I don't know how many times.
Sorry.
And I get emotional like every time I watch it. I don't know, it just resonates with me every part, And I tell people, you had the learning disabilities and traumatic childhood, and it caused your brain to be different. And correct me if I'm wrong. These are my perception, right? And then you finally found your learning style through martial arts. Yeah. And then you kind of figured out, why did you start to understand things when you started to do martial arts and, do that kind of lifestyle. And to me, like TACFIT, it's like a martial art with yourself. You're not fighting anybody else, but it's with yourself, like mastery of self, connecting your breath with the movement and just that awareness, that, really only martial arts can give you. Yeah. Can give you. And like when I train, like the fight is always keep my technique, my breath, my heart rate is 60-80%. Right. And if I start to go over that, I'm losing. Yeah. And that's actually how we met, right? Originally, I got tired in my UFC debut, and he told me, you breathe too much. I'm like, what? I didn't breathe enough. That's why I got tired. And I was like, yeah, you're over breathing. And then it just started to get me thinking differently. And I guess because you, give your say a couple words on that, like the martial arts, what it's done for you, and helped you, how it helped you. Because we just trained Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Oh
my gosh,
you're like so busy, and
I don't think it was training. I think it was a beatdown.
But you're like, it's like I tell people it's like the fountain of youth, and here we have, you're like, you just turned 50, and you look like you're a ripped 20-year-old, and you move like a 20-year-old, like a kid moving around, and you just got off the plane, got in like super late last night, and it's just like it blows my mind. I already thought of you like already up so highly. And then you come in and then, just you can train with whoever. And it's just, like it really blows my mind. You even have a mark, from today. We just came up from downstairs.
Not even to mention we worked out this morning too.
Right.
So
7 a.m.
Yeah, that 40-minute workout.
The workout's good. The workout, if CST is true, then the thing that causes us exertion or adaptation is the thing that we're training for, to compensate for. So when somebody says, are you fit? You have to ask, fit for what? Right. Am I fit to fly? That's my job. I sit in an airplane and I collect viruses and bacteria.
Hopefully not that one from China, right?
Yeah. Well, our normal cold flu is actually more deadly currently to us than the epidemic that's happening. We're constantly assaulted with bugs, but the point is, like, do you train in a way that opens the pathogen window? Are you so exhausted and fatigued that you have beaten down your own immunocytes, or are you training in a way that creates a hermetic seal? It shuts the window tight and nothing can get in. I haven't been sick in years. And it's not a bragging point. My goodness, it's not a challenge.
Yeah, I would have bragged, but I lost my throat, my voice like 2 days ago. But I haven't been. I feel the same. I used to.
You fought off the bug, but there was just vocal fold strain. Like that's the whole point. You didn't get sick from it. Yeah. You got irritated and then stopped it. Right. That's what's interesting about training in a way that's specific to your whole system, your neural system, your endocrine system, and your immune system. True martial art training should be that way. And TACFIT and CST were intended to be all of the martial art training without any of the fighting. Like what is the foundational training approach that allows you to be able to practice your sport or your skill or your art for the rest of your life?
That's it.
Like as long as possible. So if it's a generative approach rather than a destructive approach, then like my coach said to me, eventually the bodies of your enemies will float downstream. They're just going to get beat up over time and have to stop.
It's crazy, 30 years old. Like, I mean, I couldn't do one push-up when I finally got to the UFC because of not training the right way, just not understanding these things, right? These principles, the CST principles, and TACFIT. This is crazy. And I have friends, right? And these legends, right? They walk with walkers or with the canes at 30 and 40 years old. And, that's why I'm so passionate about TACFIT, is because it's like, it doesn't have to be like that. Just some awareness, some knowledge that you gain with doing the reps and doing the system. It's like, it's kind of like the fountain of youth, but Mr. Miyagi, right? He slapped his hands together and healed Danielson's shoulders. And so I feel like that should be part of martial arts, our martial art training. But it's much more than that. It's like its own martial art, right? People don't have to train in martial arts to get the same benefits by just doing the movements and living the lifestyle.
It has to be taken with the same level of mindfulness then.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be just a form of exercise. And you have to think about how does this impact my entire life? How am I responding to this? Mm-hmm. What's going on for me? Where am I today? Like, doing a check-in. But I do not want to hold myself up to be an example.